Good afternoon, council members.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, everyone, citizens, to our public work session on January 25th. I'm your mayor, Shannon Glover, and we're here to do the people's business. In accordance with Governor Ralph Northam's declaration of a state of emergency due to the novel coronavirus, Executive Order 51, on March 12, 2020, and the local declaration of emergency ratified by the Portsmouth City Council and due to the coronavirus pandemic, which is continuing in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This called meeting of the Portsmouth City Council is being held by video conference on the 25th day of January 2021, without a quorum present in the City Council chamber, in order to reduce the likely spread of the coronavirus in accordance with City Council Ordinance 2020-21 and 2020-12. Each City Council member is participating from their home or other remote location, and I am in the City Council chamber. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Barnes,
Present.
Mr. Battle,
Here.
Mrs. Lucasberg,
Here.
Mr. Moody,
Here.
Dr. Whitaker,
Present.
Mr. Woodard,
Here.
Mayor Glover.
Here. And it's good to see everyone once again. One of the things I want to let everyone know is that tonight is an extremely important process in the selection of our city manager. And in doing so, we will have a need to go into closed session in order to discuss this personnel matter. Is there a motion to move into closed session?
So moved.
Mayor, I have a resolution for us to go into closed session. Am I read that?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
please.
I move to go into a closed electronic meeting pursuant to Virginia Code subsection 2.2-3708.2A.3 and 2.2-3711A.1 and City Council Ordinance 2020-102 for the purpose of discussing and considering prospective candidates for the position of city manager.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just before we take the vote, I just want to want to reassure the citizens that as we go into this closed session to discuss the candidates for city manager, that this discussion is only including persons that are qualified to serve as city manager based on the established criteria. That is the point of this discussion. I want to make sure that the citizens are clear on that, and that's our purpose of going into closed session, and to make sure that that's the direction that we're going.
Thank you, Dr. Whitaker. Council Member Battle.
Mr. Mayor, I would also like for the citizens to understand that though we reach for perfection in our lives, even with our recommendations that were set down by the last council, no candidate that I've reviewed meet all the criteria. All of the candidates that I reviewed meet some of the criteria. And if we're looking for perfection, we're in the wrong world. We need to go to the other side. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Battle. Councilmember Moody.
Thank you, Mayor. My question is to our city attorney. Does our city charter take precedent over any other qualifications established by council or any other body?
Well, we're ruled by the charter for sure, but the charter is very, very nebulous on this point. It just says that city council. will hire
Mr. Attorney-
somebody.
Mr. Attorney, answer my question.
Does the charter override?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think they go hand in hand. The
No,
charter
no.
says,
Either it's the charter or other
No.
criteria established by council.
it doesn't have to be exclusive. The charter gives you general guidelines. What council did is they made specific qualifications that they desired, certainly within the charter. The charter says that council will hire a city manager with professional qualifications, something to that effect. Certainly, council can set out more stringent, more exacting qualifications if it wants to, as it has done by hiring this national firm for a search. And so they're not mutually exclusive. One doesn't override the other. The charter gives you the general language to hire a city manager, but certainly council can list specific qualifications that they desire. So one does not overrule the other.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Moody.
before we go into closed session, I'd like to make a motion that our criteria on the hiring of a city manager be based on our city's charter.
Okay,
Point of order.
Dr. Whitaker.
Just
You
a point
have the
of
floor.
order. Just a point of order on that motion, Mr. Mayor. And you rule on points of order. The necessity of that motion is really irrelevant because the charter only speaks to a guiding principle of professionalism. It is the criteria now that has been established that has set how we measure that professionalism standard. And so that is already in place. So as a point of order, I think that that motion really is not necessary because we already have criteria that is explaining and spelling out the professionalism standard of the charter.
Mayor, that does not dismiss my motion.
You need a second on the motion, I believe. Has there been a second?
Right. So motion denied.
And Mr. Mayor, just again, just to confirm, because I know there's been a lot of discussion on this issue, there will not be, as we go into closed session, any discussion or consideration of those who have not met the criteria.
That is,
Mr. Mayor,
yes, Councilmember Battle.
Mr. Mayor, what I see happening here, I see our candidates trying to put us in a box in reference to who we choose as city manager. Now, we are a city with unique problems sometimes that education doesn't address. So why my fellow council member means well, I'm asking that he not put us into a box of criteria when we are a special needs group that needs a special city manager, not a necessarily city manager that fits the box of the criteria. And again, let me say that not any of the candidates, while we are trying to say or talk about the professionalism and that sort of thing, not any of the candidates fit all of that criteria that was in the job description. And the charter allow us to go beyond what is necessarily put in the job description. And if we have a special needs situation, we have to look at folk that can meet our special needs. For 70 years, we've had professional people that meet certain criteria. Now, the professionalism and how fit a person is for this job is in the eye of the beholder. So
Thank you.
again, I ask
Mayor.
that our council member not try to put us in a box with the criteria that the old council made and allow us the freedom that is set down by the state to pick or choose what is good for the city of Portsmouth or what we feel as individual electees of the city of Portsmouth. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Battle. Councilwoman Lucas Burke.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I concur with the expressions stated by Councilman Whitaker, and I call for the question to the motion that is already on the floor.
Yes, ma'am. And before we call for the question, I'd like to just make a comment on some of the comments that I just heard, if I may. As council members, as mayor and council members, we are all under a council manager system required. We are required under that system to choose a city manager with professional credentials that is capable with experience and knowledge of running a city or a town in the Commonwealth of Virginia that can competently and without measure deliver in their role in administrating our city and moving our city forward. That is what our charge is today, my colleagues. And that, with that said, we will now call for the vote.
Mr. Barnes,
Yes.
Mr. Battle,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucas Burke,
Yes.
Mr. Moody,
No.
Dr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Woodard,
Yes.
Mayor Glover.
Yes.
We are in closed session. Thank you.
Council member certify that to the best of his or her knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened was heard, discussed, or considered in the closed motion just concluded.
Council members, before you do a second, can you just give me a minute to make sure that we're back live for the public's sake of certifying this meeting?
Okay.
Just 1 second, please.
Hey, Deborah, when we come out, I can adjourn, right?
Council members, we're good. He was able to capture it. So we have a motion by Councilwoman Lucas Burke and a second by Dr. Whitaker, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Ready for roll call.
Yes, sir. Mr. Barnes,
Yes.
Mr. Battle,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucas Burke,
Yes.
Mr. Moody,
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Woodard,
Yes.
Mayor Glover.
Yes.
Thank you. We are certified.
And once again, thank each and every one of you. You know, this has been a good process thus far, and I'm looking forward to continuing it and working very closely with each of you to bring about the desired result of finding a competent, capable city manager to lead the city of Portsmouth, Virginia. Thanks again for all your help, and I look forward to seeing each of you tomorrow night. This meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.